Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Monriwe Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Senate asks IGP to investigate, prosecute foreigners maltreating Nigerians. Thieves steal reporter's car at Kaduna APC Secretariat. Man who made love to woman to death in Ado-Ekiti sentenced to death by hanging. Mother to sweep son's school premises 6 months for invading with talks. 2023, Tinubu will rewrite the wrongs of his administration, clerics. Shun money rituals for hard work, clerics urges youth. Osh Poppy, court shift hearing on Abba Kyari's extradition to US till April 27th. And the foreign story, black box of crashed China Eastern jet recovered. Sports story, don't distract Eagles with cash promises, Akpobori tells officials. Now the news in details. The Senate has called on the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, to investigate and prosecute foreigners who maltreat Nigerians in various parts of the country. They made the call in reaction to a motion by Senator Bio Barakuma Degi Eremio during Tuesday's plenary in the upper chamber of the National Assembly in Abuja. Senator Degi raised the motion for the urgent need to check the alarming trend of inhuman treatments and torture of Nigerian citizens by foreign nationals. He referred to a case of brutality meted against one Friday in Nubisi, who works with a security company, and 2 others, including a Chadian, attached to another security outfit in the Gudu district of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. According to the lawmaker, the trio were seriously brutalized over an allegation that they stole iron rods, which led to the death of a Chadian national. He explained that the Lebanese national, who worked with one of the companies, ordered and carried out the torture in a bid to get a confession from them. The Lebanese was said to have ordered some of his Nigerian subordinates to gang in the BC and laid Chadians' mouth with rags to stifle any noise from them. They were also beaten mercilessly with iron rods tied to a car and driven around the premises, while the Lebanese loosened its door to attack the victims. A Golf 3 car belonging to a new Nigerian newspaper's correspondent, Mr. Amos Matthew, was on Tuesday stolen at the All Progressive Congress APC Secretariat in Kaduna. The journalists and other members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) were at the Secretariat to cover a political event when the car was stolen. According to him, the vehicle was parked in the front of the party secretariat at exactly 10 a.m. and was discovered to have been stolen at the end of the political event by unidentified political talks at exactly 11:20 a.m. on Tuesday. He explained that security operatives have been informed about the stolen car with registration number LSD 516HB. Other valuable items like ATM card, office identity card, voter's card, national identity card, among others, were in the stolen vehicle. Following the development, the Kaduna NUJ members have vowed to boycott any future political activity in the state if relevant authorities fail to recover the vehicle. The Ekiti State High Court has sentenced one Tumishe Abraham to death by hanging for the murder of his landlady, one Bukola Olariwaju. Abraham was found guilty of making love to the landlady before eventually killing her at Olorunda Zone 7 at the Bayo area of Ado-Ekiti in 2019. It was gathered that the late Olariwaju had demanded rent arrears and electricity bills from the convict before the ugly incident. The mother of 3 was at home alone after her husband had gone to work, while the children were said to have gone for holiday coaching when the incident happened. Abraham was alleged to have broken into the woman's room, threatened her with a cutlass, and tied her up before performing the dastardly act. It was also gathered that after the act, the tenant fled the house, but some of his belongings were found in the room, which suggested that he was responsible for the act. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Julius Ajibari, who prosecuted the case for the state government, called for witnesses to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. The court, presided over by Justice Abodunle, found Abraham guilty of the offense and sentenced him to death by hanging. A magistrate court in Ota, Ogun, on Wednesday ordered a 40-year-old housewife, Biola Joshua, to sweep a Jude ABA high school premises for 6 months for invading her son's school with talks. The police charged Joshua with conspiracy, assault, and breach of peace. Delivering a ruling, Magistrate Shotunde Shotaro ordered the convicts to sweep the school from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day. He also directed that the school should open a log book for the convicts where our daily activities will be recorded for that 6 months. Shatara gave Joshua an option to pay a fine of 30,000 naira fine to be given to the principal and the teacher. He held that the prosecution has proven its case beyond reasonable doubt that Joshua was guilty of the charge preferred against her. The convict, whose address was not provided, pleaded not guilty to the charge. Earlier, the prosecution counsel, Inspector Cynthia Ejese, told the court that the convict's son and others at large committed the offense on March 11, 2021, at about 2 p.m. at Ijuibi High School in Ota. To some political story, some Christian leaders under the auspices of Network of Clergymen in Nigeria have thrown their weight behind the former governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, noting that he rights the wrongs of this administration. A statement jointly signed by the leaders of the South-South zone of the network, including the regional coordinator, Pastor Joseph Francis, Coordinator General from Delta State, Apostle Chris Odion Bordane, Deputy Coordinator in the state, Pastor Osas Franco, Secretary, and Pastor Ikechukwu Okorie. PRO urged other admirers of Tinubu to back him based on his social, political, and economic achievements in the past years. They said Tinubu has influence across all the geopolitical zones of Nigeria and should be given the opportunity to pilot the affairs of the country. Part of the statement read, he will strengthen the economy. He stood tall among his other opposition parties from 1999 to 2015. His ability to remain in government as the governor of Lagos State during the collapse of AD across the southwest in 2003 is worthy of note. A clergyman, Pastor Moses Olubenga, has decried the incidence of money ritual killings in the country, advising youth to dump the dubious idea and in lieu embrace hard work in the quest for survival. In an interview with the news agency of Nigeria in Ilorin on Wednesday, the cleric noted that the youth were not ready to work hard and wait patiently for their time. Rather, they always consider money ritual as the best option to get rich. The cleric further emphasized the sanctity of hard work, which though might not yield sudden wealth, but unlike fetish courts, would at least guarantee peace of mind and forestall sudden untimely death. Money ritual is ungodly and evil. Stop being desperate to get rich through money rituals. Wait patiently for God's time, as God's time is the best. God's money will not take anything away from you, but will rather give you the rest of mine. Stop being desperate for blood money, remain focused, and stop competing with friends or family members, he admonished. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Wednesday deferred hearing on the application seeking to extradite the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Albert Kyari, to the United States of America, USA, to face trial over his alleged involvement with the notorious internet fraudster Rahman Abbas, popularly known as Hush Puppy, till April 27th. Kyari is wanted in the U.S. to stand trial for conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, and identity theft. A grand jury on April 29, 2021, filed an indictment against him with the approval of the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, after which a warrant was issued for his arrest. The application for his extradition was brought before the court by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami San. Malami said the extradition application was based on a request by the diplomatic representative of the U.S. Embassy in Abuja for Kyari to be surrendered for trial. The AGF, in an affidavit that was filed in support of the extradition application, said he was satisfied that the offense in respect of which Kyari's surrender was sought is not political or trivial. From that story, we'll go straight to foreign story. A black box from the crashed China Eastern airliner was recovered on Wednesday as investigators tried to piece together what made a jet carrying 132 passengers nosedive into a mountainside in southern China. The cause of the disaster has mystified aviation authorities, who have secured scorched rocket terrain for clues, finding no survivors from what is almost certain to be China's deadliest plane crash in nearly 30 years. A flight recorder from China Eastern MU5735 was found on Wednesday near Lusong. A spokesman for China's aviation authority told reporters, although state media later said it was badly damaged. The Boeing 737-800 is equipped with 2 flight recorders, one in the rear passenger cabin, tracking flight data, and the other a cockpit voice recorder. Officials have still refrained from declaring all of the passengers dead despite the pulverized mass of twisted metal and charred belongings that has greeted recovery teams on the mountainside. On Wednesday afternoon, AFP reporters saw a small crowd of people guided by officials across the police cordon that marks entry to the site, huddled under umbrellas in the driving rain. The Boeing 737-800 plane went down near Wuzhou in southern China on Monday afternoon after losing contact with air traffic control. Finally, sports story. Former Super Eagles forward Jonathan Akpobori has warned top government officials not to distract the national team players with monitoring promises ahead of their all-important Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers against Ghana later this week. The first leg of the encounter comes up Friday at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi, while the return leg is built for the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja 4 days later. In recent times, Nigeria dignitaries, including sport ministry officials, representatives of private companies, and billionaire businessmen, have interrupted team training, half-time team talks to make financial promises to the players to win matches. At the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon, videos of top officials pledging huge sums to players for goals scored and every stage win went viral online, but Akpobori insists that must stop, say it was distraction to the players. At a certain time, non-footballers were even brought to training with national team players, which I personally think is not good at all. If you want to give players and footballers money, promise them before the game, not by going to their training to do it. I think it is distracting, Akpobori added. Another ex-international, Uche Akubike, said the best thing would be for authorities not to publicly disclose what they want to give the players so he does not distract them. That was the world news from BGI TV, but before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. Senate asks IGP to investigate prosecute foreigners maltreating Nigerians. Thieves steal reporter's car at Kaduna APC Secretariat. Man who had love to death with a woman in Ado-Ekiti sentenced to death by hanging. Mother to sweep son schools promises 6 months for invading with talks. 2023, Tinubu will rewrite the wrongs of these administrations. Cleric. Shun money rituals for hard work. Cleric urges youth. Hush puppy. Courts shifts hearing on Abakari's extradition to US till April 27th. And to foreign story. Black box of crashed China Eastern jet recovered. Sports. Don't distract Eagles with cash promises. Akpobori tells officials. On our YouTube channel, the handle to link up with is for you to subscribe and click on the notification bell and select option all to access our podcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo_22. For other placement of your goods and services, coverage of event and function, both outdoors, the phone number streaming on your screen is the direct line to call strictly for advert placements. Thank you for celebrating Baba Bagede Imo yesterday for his birthday. God bless you all. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good evening.
Oh, na na na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV.